We are previewing NFL Week 2 here at SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak, and we're talking right now with John Ryan, regular NFL contributor from JohnRyanSports.com. John, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me again, Peter.
All right, so the first game that we're going to talk about is a game that I asked you to take a look at. It's the Thursday night game, Bears at Packers. Now, I'll start out right off by saying there's no way I'm touching this game. The Bears, of course, rolled over the Colts in Week 1, but even in that game, Cutler started bad, and it looked like maybe he would burn their backers. The Colts are, of course, a bunch of scrubs. The Bears, though, do have a lot of legitimate weapons this year. The Packers lost outright to San Francisco, but San Francisco looks like one of the toughest teams in the NFL right now, and that might be the best defense the Packers will face all season long. I could easily see, Cutler completely essing the bed and the Packers absolutely blowing out the Bears by double digits, or I could see the Bears' offensive weapons coming together and taking it right down to the wire. What does your simulator have to say about this game, John Ryan?
Well, I tend to agree with you, Peter. This is a game that you have to be real careful with because I hate saying it all the time, but NFL is not for long. So you have tendencies now the last 10 years, basically, where a team that looks as good as Chicago did and as much as Green Bay struggled can suddenly reverse.
Well, of course.
Because Green Bay will look like Super Bowl champs and the Bears will look like they can't even make the playoffs.
I mean, the Bears look great against the Colts, and arguably the worst team in the NFL, and the Packers struggled against San Francisco, might make the Super Bowl this year. So, I mean, they're both forgivable.
Absolutely. I think you need a larger sample size, for lack of a better word. I do think, though, that Green Bay may not be good as we think. And the line opened up at 5, and now the public is enamored with them because they're Green Bay. We're now at 6. So if I had a lean here, it would definitely be taking the Bears. And quite frankly, if the Bears cover, I think they actually win, and then we'll have something to talk about next week with Green Bay being 0-2.
Yeah, I mean, the Green Bay defense was not good in Week 1 against San Francisco. So, I think maybe if I had to bet this game, I might take a shot with the Bears team total over, which should be, under 24. That might be. What do you think about that?
I like that a lot, Peter. I think that's a good one. I also think playing over. If you're going to play a parlay and you like the Bears, I think you have to think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. You mentioned that Chicago has a lot more weapons this year, and they're only going to get better on that offensive side. So this could be a shootout.
Yeah.
Again, looking at Week 1, we had all kinds of record-breaking performances. We had, RG3, 6 quarterbacks throwing over 300 yards. There will be a tendency for those lines to be adjusted because the public will now think that we're in a new era of high-scoring games. This happened once before, I think in 2008, and then all of a sudden the games were barely even making 35 points. So coaches are able to adjust very quickly in the NFL because of the parity.
Right.
It doesn't take long to see what RG3 is doing and then adjust the defensive scheme accordingly.
So did you run your simulator for this game at all yet?
I have not yet,
Okay.
only because I don't have it loaded up yet.
Right.
But from my experience of 18 years now, which shows something, I can tell you that it's not going to be on Green Bay.
Right. All right. Thanks, John.